Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Good evening, everyone, depending on where you're living. But it's 8 o'clock here in Eastern Canada, actually Hamilton, Ontario, which is just outside of Toronto, and right in between Niagara Falls and Toronto, right at the tip, right at the bend of the Lake Ontario. And we're broadcasting globally on Zoom to people all over the world, and we want to thank you for coming on time. It's fantastic. I love it to see people that are eager. Roy, good to see you in Mississippi. And I don't know if you've got your books, but I know we've sent them, so they should be arriving at any moment. And people are appreciating the binding of the Bhagavatam, the Delhi Bhagavatams. The other versions that we got, and by the way, just so everybody knows, we bought a few sets of these online in order to have samples sent to our printer. And we paid $175 with shipping for one set. We bought 3 sets. So if you're interested in the books, they're much less, $58 retail, and we have a special wholesale price for them. And if you want to become a distributor, even a small scale distributor, we'll help you to disseminate this information to other people. It's very, very beautiful books of Prabhupada's original printing of them, writing and printing of them. And do you know how long ago it was, Ron Singh? It was 60 years ago. He came to America in 1965. Oh, Roy got them yesterday. Congratulations, Roy. I'm glad you got them. Prabhupada came in 1965, actually, September 19th, 1965, he got off the boat in New York City. And the suitcases, he saw them come off the boat. I believe it was 3 suitcases filled with these Bhagavatams. And this, he came with no money, but he did have the books. And back then, they sold, I believe, for $16 a set. That was 60 years ago. So considering it's 2025 and things are so costly these days, even a bag of chips is $6. So these Bhagavatams are a real treasure for anyone that gets them. And it's our hope that they'll read them. Yeah. Because when you read them, the secrets of life are revealed there. Not only of material life, the transcendental world of Krishna consciousness is revealed in the Delhi Bhagavatams. And they're also revealed in the Krishna book. Oh, yes. And I know I see Mother Rochisha on the screen. And I know she likes that I'm reading the Krishna books. I just can tell. And of course, everybody is enjoying the Krishna books that are reading them. And it's interesting to note, Mother Rochisha, how people in other groups say that Prabhupada never delivered the highest truths in his literature. That's absurd. And the reason why they say that is there's two reasons. They do not accept Prabhupada as their guru. That's number one. Someone else is their guru. And number two is they don't read the books. So you don't read the books, and you're not connected in disciplic succession with the bona fide spiritual master. So you won't be able to relish the transcendental potency of Prabhupada's writings, because we know this for a fact, everyone, that and I was reading this in the Krishna book. I was going to refer to it today, but I won't, because I've got a different section that I'm going to read from. But Prabhupada was saying that whatever the spiritual master speaks, it's actually Krishna speaking through him. And we have many quotes about that. And I think if you all study that, you'll see that these literatures, Prabhupada would say, I didn't write them, Krishna wrote them. So they're written by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And by the way, quickly, I'm writing my Vyas Puja. I'm going to have it done by tomorrow. It's a little hard to get started sometimes, but once I get into a document, I start to write it, it gets easier. I've already I do the old-fashioned way, like this. I do my Vyas Puja, I write it in pen. That's how I start. I write a draft, I get inspired, I start writing, and then I get it up on the screen and start to type, and it changes significantly. I'm able to use the tools that are available online to polish it up and make it more thorough. So it's a great thing for me, because it reminds me of who I am and how much I really don't know. And at the same time, it gives us an idea of how we should relate to our spiritual master moving forward in our service. So a very important thing. So remember, there's only a week or two left. When's the last date for the submissions, Prabhu? Yashodanandana Prabhu. When's the last date? Look at your T-lock. It's beautiful. Look at him. He's so pukka. When's the last date? Come on.
I believe the Vyasa Puja is on August 17th, and I believe August 12th is the last date in order to include it into the electronic compilation, everything. So it's a week before.
Phew, thank God. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And all of us, please, everybody, submit your prayer. It's a great exercise for you. You'll once you do it, you'll feel the potency of it, that you're writing and expressing your emotions or your feelings or your realizations about your relationship with Srila Prabhupada as the bona fide spiritual master and the representative of Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, and of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, his guru. Very interesting. We're going to go, I was reading from the Krishna book, as I said, and I was commenting, Yashoda, how a lot of people don't read the book. They're not connected with Prabhupada anyway, because there's some other guru. So they can't seem to grasp the of information that is available to us by his mercy. And I'm going to reveal it. Now, Shruta, Prabhupada talks about it. He says in business, the businessman, he has these codes. Now, the reason they use the codes, because it costs less. Remember years ago, Mother Ruchisha, we used to send telegrams to people. In my life, we used to telegram. There was no email. There was no chat. It was telegram. And Prabhupada sent me a telegram from Nairobi after we bought the Toronto Temple, and he simply said in one word, "Congratulations, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Congratulations." And then he sent further a letter by mail. But nowadays, he says, cost including freight, CIL. And that's how we got the Bhagavatams shipped to us. Of course, it was more freight than we thought, but anyway, we paid the bill and we got the books. Krishna's mercy on all of us. Thank you, everyone. But this particular section of the 10th canto is ill-motivated Dhritarashtra. This is the chapter. We're moving ahead. I'm almost finished this first volume. So I was looking at volume 2. It's 357 pages too. And this one here is, let me see, 373 pages. And I'm at page 325. So I'm close. I actually feel a little lamentation when I end. I think, gee, maybe I should read it slower or read it again. So a lot of times I read it, and if I read it before and I miss my place, I just read it again because I need to figure out what this is about. It's not easy. Akrura continued, "My dear Dhritarashtra," and this is a shruta, a summary of people in the material world. "My dear, I beg to advise you not to be blind about the fact of this material existence. Material conditioned life, either in distress or in happiness, is to be accepted as a dream. One should try to bring his mind and senses under control and live peacefully for spiritual advancement in Krishna consciousness." So that's the stipulation. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that except for persons who are in Krishna consciousness, everyone is always disturbed, in a disturbed condition of mind, and is full of anxiety. Correct. I'm preaching to somebody right now, and it's been going on for 2 years. And I can tell you right now that every day they say the same things. "I'm in so much stress. I'm in so much anxiety. I need to move away." I said, "Yeah, okay, maybe that'll be the solution." Of course it won't be. But they can't hear that anyway. Everyone is disturbed. Even those who are trying for liberation or merging into the Brahman effulgence, or the yogis who are trying to achieve perfection and mystic power, cannot have peace of mind. Pure devotees of Krishna have no demands to make of Krishna. They are simply satisfied with service to him. Actual peace and mental tranquility can be attained only in perfect Krishna consciousness. After hearing moral instructions from Akrura, Dhritarashtra replied, "My dear Akrura, you are very charitable in giving me good instructions, but unfortunately, I cannot accept it." Oh yeah, that's the way a lot of people are. I had an experience today where I met a person while I was on my japa walk by chance, and he was a devotee in a truck, a locksmith, and he yelled out to me, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna," and I went over. Yashoda was on. I was talking to Yashodanandana Prabhu, and he heard the conversation. It was quite shocking. Because as soon as I mentioned anything about certain people in ISKCON, he flipped right out. He completely freaked out. And it was a shock. Because he can't listen. He's been so indoctrinated by these fake gurus that he can't hear anything. And if I said anything, it was blasphemy. Oh, you're a blasphemous person. I tried to explain to him, we know, but I realized you can't not do anything with these people except keep quiet, unless you want trouble. And he goes, oh, I'm listening to my Guru Maharaj's tape ministry. He was listening to it in the car. And I very cautiously asked him, who is your guru? And he goes, Tamal Krishna Goswami. Oh God, I just shut up. I said, this guy is completely indoctrinated. A person who is destined to die does not utilize the effect of nectar, although it may be administered to him. I can understand that your instructions are very valuable, Dhritarashtra is saying to Akura. Unfortunately, they do not stay in my flickering mind. Just as the glittering lightning in the sky does not stay fixed in the cloud. I can understand only that no one can stop the onward progress of the Supreme Will. I understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared in the family of the Yadus, and in order to decrease the overburdened load of this earth. Dhritarashtra gives hints to Akura that he had complete faith in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, he was very much partial to his family members. In the very near future, Krishna would vanquish all the members of his family, and in a helpless condition. Dhritarashtra would take shelter of Krishna's feet in order to show his special favor to a devotee. Krishna usually takes away all the objects of his material affection. Interesting. He thus forces the devotee to become materially helpless, with no alternative than to accept the lotus feet of Krishna. This actually happened to Dhritarashtra after the end of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Dhritarashtra could realize two opposing factors acting before him. He could understand that Krishna was there to remove all the unnecessary burdens of earth. His sons were an unnecessary burden, and he expected that they would be killed. At the same time, he could not rid of himself of unlawful affection for his sons. And understanding these two contradictory factors, he began to offer his respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The contradictory ways of material existence are very difficult to understand, but they can only be taken as the inconceivable execution of the plan of the Supreme Lord by his inconceivable energy. He creates this material world and enters into it and sets in action the three modes of nature. When everything is created, he enters into it in every living entity and into the smallest atom. No one can understand the incalculable plans of the Supreme Lord. Shruta. And we should try to embrace this in our own lives and understand that Krishna is in control of everything, and we are simply his humble servants. Okay. That's it for that section, and we wanted to thank you again for being at the program, and we're going to move forward with the brief. How long is the lecture from Srila Prabhupada today, Ram Raghava?
This lecture is about 5.5 minutes, and it's entitled, We Have to Train Our Senses to Satisfy Krishna.
Oh, Prabhupada just said that, didn't he, in the Krishna book? You have to train yourself. How to be disciplined, how to rise up out of the modes of material nature and be a transcendental human being. Haribol. So let's move forward with the lecture. And then after that, Yashoda will come in. I know he has to leave at 9 o'clock. So we'll rush it to, we'll go right after this immediately, Prabhu. We'll do Jayarada Madhava and then the reading and discussion led by him, our wonderful Vedic scholar. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vande Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam. Anyone within this material world, they are entrapped by the sense enjoyment, either in higher planets or lower planets. Just like animal kingdom, there is sense impetus, and human being also. What is human being? We are civilized being. What we are doing? The same thing, eating, sleeping, mating. The same thing as the dog is doing. So anywhere in the material world, either in the higher planet or in the lower planet, this sense gratification is prominent. Only in the spiritual world there is no sense gratification. There is simply an endeavor to satisfy Krishna. That is. Here everyone is trying to satisfy his senses. That is the law of material world. That is material life. So long you try to satisfy your senses, that is your material life. And as soon as you turn yourself to satisfy the senses of Krishna, that is your spiritual life. It's a very simple thing. Instead of satisfying Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam, that is bhakti. You have got senses. You have to satisfy. Senses, with senses you have to satisfy. Either you satisfy yourself, but you do not know. The conditioned soul the soul does not know that satisfying the Krishna senses, his senses will be automatically satisfied. The same example, just like pouring water to the root or these fingers, part and parcel of my body, giving foodstuff here to the stomach, automatically the fingers will be satisfied. This secret we are missing. We are thinking we shall be happy by trying to satisfy our senses. Krishna consciousness means don't try to satisfy your senses, you try to satisfy the senses of Krishna, automatically your senses will be satisfied. This is the secret of Krishna consciousness. The opposite party, they are thinking, oh, why shall I satisfy, why shall I work for Krishna? The whole day and night. Let me try for the karmis. Just like you are working whole day and night for Krishna, they are thinking what fools they are. We are very intelligent. We are working for our own sense gratification whole day and night. And why they are working for Krishna? This is the difference between materialist and spiritualist. The spiritualist endeavor is to work whole day and night strenuously, without any heart, simply for Krishna. That is spiritual life. And the materialist means the same endeavor, always trying to satisfy their personal sense. That is the difference, materialistic and spiritual. So, Krishna consciousness movement means that we have to train our senses to satisfy Krishna. That's all. So long, in other previous many thousands and billions of lives, we have simply tried to satisfy our senses, personal senses. Let this life be dedicated for satisfying Krishna's senses. That is Krishna's sense. One life. We have several lives we have tried to satisfy our personal senses. Let this life, at least one life, let me try. What happens? So we are not losers. Even we feel inconveniences by not satisfying our senses, but we are not losers. Try simply to satisfy Krishna's senses. Then it
vacation, and we identify with the body to satisfy our senses and not the soul. He goes, it's a simple thing. We'll move forward with the next section of our program, which is the chanting of Jaya Radha Madhava, and then our reading and discussion led by Yashodanandana Prabhu. Haribol.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Muspa Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Sattva Smadhati Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Bhagavad Ki Jaya Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Ki Jaya Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jaya Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivācharya Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jaya Shri Radha Krishna Mokh Gopinath Sam Khand Radha Khand Giri Govardhan Ki Jaya Vrindavan Dham Ki Jaya Navadvip Dham Ki Jaya Ganga Mai Ki जय जमुना माई की जय गुरु द्वारका धाम की जय स्वामी तो भक्तविंद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर सिमर ऑल ग्लोरीज टू देयर सिमर थैंक यू वेरी मच
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1. Narayanam namaskrityam. Narayanam namaskritya. Naram cheva narottamam. Naram cheva narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Tato Jayam Mudirayet. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of God Narayana, 2, to the Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being, 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author, from Srimad Bhagavatam 1-4. Welcome everyone to this reading and discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This class is being conducted on the basis of the original non-adulterated 1974-1975 version of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all English synonyms, translations, and purports are by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. As we do every week, we will be reading a few selected verses from the Chaitanya Charitamrita itself from the Adilila, chapter 1, explaining the meaning and the benefit of hearing this powerful transcendental literature. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Glory to Sri Chaitanya and Nityānanda. Glory to Advaitacharya, and glory to all the devotees of Sri Gaura, Lord Chaitanya. Etina Thakur Gaudiya ke karyechana yatmasat. Etinera charana vandana tire morinat. These three deities of Vrindavana, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinatha, have absorbed the heart and soul of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, followers of Lord Chaitanya. I worship their lotus feet, for they are the lords of my heart. Grantera Rambi Karimangala Charana, Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan Tinera Smarana. In the beginning of this narration, simply by remembering the spiritual master, the devotees of the Lord, and the personality of Godhead, I have invoked their benedictions. Tinera Smaraneyai Vigna Vinashana, Anayaseyai Nijavanchita Purana. Such remembrance destroys all difficulties and very easily enables one to fulfill his own desires. Simangala Charanai Trivida Prakar Vastu Nirdesa Shirvada Namaskara. The invocation involved 3 processes: defining the objective, offering benedictions, and offering obeisances. Let us proceed with our selected verses. Today we are reading from Adilila, chapter 5, text 205, I believe. Yes. Jagai Madayoeti Muisi Papishta Purisher Kitaeti Muisi Lagishta. Jagai Madai. The 2 brothers, Jagai and Madhai, Oete, then, Mui, I, say, that, Papishta, more sinful, Purishera, in stool, Kita, the worms, Oete, then, Mui, I am. Say that. Lagishta, lower. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I'm more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and even lower than the worms in the stool. Text 206. Moranam shunaye patara punyakshay. Moranam laye patara papa hai. Moranam, my name. Shune, hears. Ye, anyone who. Tara, his. Punyakshay, destruction of piety. Moranama, my name. Laya, takes. Ye, anyone. Tara, his. Papa, sin. Hoya, is. Translation. Anyone who hears my name loses the results of his pious activities. Anyone who utters my name becomes sinful. Text 207. Iman nirgrina mori keba kripakari eka Nityānanda vinu jagat bitari. Imana, such, nirgrina, abominable, more, unto me, keba, who, kripa, mercy, kare, shows, eka, one, Nityānanda, Lord Nityānanda, vinu, but, jagat, world, bhitare, within. Translation. Who in this world but Nityānanda could show his mercy to such an abominable person as me? Text 208. Preme matta Nityānanda kripayavatar uttamaya dhamma kichuna kari vichar. Preme, in ecstatic love, matta, mad, Nityānanda, Lord Nityānanda, kripa, merciful, avatara, incarnation, uttama, good, adhama, bad, kichu, any, na, not, kare, makes, vichar, consideration. Translation. Because he's intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy, he does not distinguish between the good and the bad. Text 209. Ye age pada ye tari kara ye nistar, ataeva nistarila mohena durachar. Ye, whoever, age, in front, pada ye, falls down, tare, unto him, karaye, does, nistar, deliverance, ataeva, therefore, nistarila, delivered, mo, as me, ena, such, durachara, sinful and fallen person. Translation. He delivers all those who fall down before him. Therefore, he has delivered such a sinful and fallen person as me. Text 210. Mo papiste anilera Sri Vrindavana, mo hena adamidila Sri Rupa Charana, mo papiste, unto me who am so sinful, anilena, he brought, Sri Vrindavana, to Vrindavana, mohena, such as me, adhame, to the lowest of mankind, dila, delivered, Sri Rupa Charana, the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Translation. Although I am sinful and am the most fallen, he has conferred upon me the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Text 211. Srimadan Gopal Sri Govinda Darashan, Kahibar Yogya Nahe Sabakatan, Srimadan Gopala, Lord Madana Gopala, Sri Govinda, Lord Radha Govinda, Darashana, visiting, Kahibara, to speak, Yogya, fit, Nahe, not, Isabhakatana, all these confidential words. Translation. I'm not fit to speak all these confidential words about my visiting Lord Madana Gopala and Lord Govinda. Text 212. Vrindavana Purandara Srimadan Gopal, Rasabailasi Sakshat Brajendra Kumar, Vrindavana Purandara, the chief deity of Vrindavana, Srimadan Gopal, Lord Madan Gopal, Rasavilasi, the enjoyer of the rasa dance, Sakshat, directly, Brajendra Kumar, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Translation: Lord Madan Gopal, the chief deity of Vrindavana, is the enjoyer of the rasa dance and is directly the son of the king of Vraja. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Bhagavad Vandana Kadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharkara Yuktam Kadatehi Visheshataham Adadana Danteridam Yache Punaha Punaham Srimadrupa Padam Bhoj Dhulisyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavatu Smyaham Sadadaso Asmi Sarabata Tat Kripa Pikshako Nityam Tat Preshta Sat Karomishvam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This particular section of Chaitanya Charitamrita is an amazing description of the exalted position of a great Vaishnava, one of the greatest Vaishnavas in our Gaudiya Sampradaya. He's not just a Vaishnava, he's a Vaishnavacharya. Now he's expressing his humility, and we should never think that, yeah, he's just a fallen person, he's lower than the worms, and he's this and that. He's expressing how we should be thinking of ourselves. That is the lesson from this. We see from the incidents described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Krishnadas Kaviraj received the direct vision of Lord Nityānanda Prabhu. He got the direct vision in a dream and was ordered to go to Vrindavan. This is not cheap. This is not an ordinary conditioned soul. In order for Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj to compile the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he received the blessings of all the great Vaishnavas in Vrindavan, the 6 Goswamis, and Bhugarbha Goswami, Lokanath, all of these great acharyas that were residing in Vrindavan. He got their blessings. And he compiled this transcendental exalted literature, considered the most exalted literature in the biographical works of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Now, prior to the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vrindavan Das Thakur had written the Chaitanya Bhagavata. And we see in the pages of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, how Krishnadas Kaviraj pays his homage and respects to Vrindavan Das Thakur, explaining how he was the Vyasa Deva of the Gaudiya Lila. This is very important. Very important. We see within the pages of Chaitanya Charitamrita all the confidential truths of Gaudiya Vaishnavisms are given. There's about 15,000 verses or so in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is a most exalted transcendental literature. We see when Prabhupada came on the Jaladuta, he explained that he took the Chaitanya Charitamrita with him. And he was reading every day from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada also expressed one time that his Guru Maharaj said that if all the literatures of the world were lost, if only the Chaitanya Charitamrita would survive, there would be no loss for anyone. This is the exalted position, the exalted status of this exalted transcendental literature. We do know from Prabhupada's instructions that he wanted the devotees, Brahmanas in his movement and Brahmanis in his movement, to pass different examinations, including the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and get different degrees. This was never introduced during his manifested presence, but that was his desire. This is very important. Very important. I'm on class here. So anyone can take shelter of Srila Prabhupada, associate with Krishnadas Kaviraj, and hear submissively the transcendental message that is given there. Every single day, there is so much discussion amongst devotees about what is the meaning of bhakti, what is the meaning of initiation, what is the meaning of guru, what is the meaning of disciple, what is the meaning of disciplic succession. But the point that remains to be there, where is that detailed, deep study of Srila Prabhupada's original books? Where can one find this? We offer this here. We try. The unfortunate situation that we're confronted is that the original text that we're given by Srila Prabhupada, I'm referring to the original first non-adulterated editions, have been polluted by the overzealousness and the grammatical fancy of some editors. Now, we're not advocating that if there's a typo somewhere or a mistake and it should not be corrected. That is not what we say. But the transcendental message and import of Prabhupada's translations and purport should not be changed. It's important to note that when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was starting his preaching mission, he had difficulty finding an original copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Such was the condition of Gaudiya Vaishnavism at the time. He had a Pandit friend in Bengal who somewhere or other procured for him a copy, but it was not widely available. And there was a rampant Sahajism amongst so many different Vaishnava groups. It is well known from Prabhupada's writings that Bhaktivinoda Thakur identified 13 different Apasampradayas. Of course, there's many more, but 13 main deviated Apasampradayas in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, because many do not like to hear from authorities. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur was considered the Gora Shakti empowered by Lord Chaitanya to revive Gaudiya Vaishnavism. This is very important. We see in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada expressed that Bhaktivinoda Thakur desired to have a son who would help him to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. Now, that particular purport in the 4th canto was written around 1971, 1972, and Prabhupada explains that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya all over the world through his bona fide disciples, unquote. Well, how is he preaching since he departed on the 31st of December, 1936? It is because Srila Prabhupada did not see that his guru was dead and gone. There are many, many different views being expressed by different devotees that you cannot have people preaching that Prabhupada is still giving initiation because he's gone. He's not physically here. He's not available. One of these pretenders even said in a meeting in San Diego in January of 1990, why don't you send Prabhupada a letter and tell us what he replies? This is simply nonsense. This is what Prabhupada described in a lecture in Atlanta, Georgia in 1975 on the appearance day of his Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, quote, "It is not that he is dead and gone. That is not spiritual understanding," unquote. Physicality is always there. There will always be physicality amongst Vaishnavas. There will always be some seniors, some juniors. That always been there and will always be there. The problem is when pretense and posing and posturing comes in. If one is not situated on the platform of an Uttamadhikari or a Mahabhagavata, he should not be worshipped as such. And people may say, well, who do you think you are? Who are you to speak like that? Well, look at Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 24, text 330. Only such a person is eligible to occupy the position of Guru. What is that person? Mahabhagavata Sreshto Brahmanover Guru Nrinam. Why is the Guru being worshipped as good as God? Sarve Shamesha Lokanam Yata Pujo Yata Harihi. He is worshipped as good as Lord Hari. Why? Because he's the topmost Mahabhagavata. But then people will argue, oh, no, a Madhyamadikari. Well, not every Madhyamadikari can do this. A Madhyamadikari who comes down from the platform of Uttamadikari for the purpose of preaching, he can do that. But a so-called Madhyamadikari who barely comes from the Kanishta platform is not qualified for that. Why? Because again, he may become a demon. Again, people may say, who do you think you are to speak like that? Here's the actual text from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. In the Padma Purana, the characteristics of the Guru, the bona fide spiritual master, have been described. Mahabhagavata Sreshto Brahmano Ver Guru Nrinam Sarve Shameva Lokanam Aso Pujyo Yata Harihi Mahakula Prasuto Pi Sarvayagneshu Dikshita Sahasrashakadhyayi Cha Naguruhu Syada Vaishnavaha. The Guru must be situated on the topmost platform of devotional service. There are three classes of devotees, and the Guru must be accepted from the topmost class. The first class devotee is the spiritual master for all kinds of people. It is said Guru Nrinam. The word Nrinam means of all human beings. The Guru is not limited to a particular group. It is stated in the Upadeshamrita of Rupa Goswami that a Guru is a Goswami, a controller of the senses and the mind. Such a Guru can accept disciples from all over the world. Prithivim Sasishyat. This is the test of the Guru. Later on in the purport, Prabhupada says in one sentence that only such a person is qualified to occupy that position. Now, this is very important because there is a lot of propaganda. For example, a lot of people misrepresent Prabhupada's instruction. All of you should become Guru. All of you can preach, can teach, can guide. You can all become Guru. Yes, that's true. Everybody is advised to become a Shiksha Guru, Vartma Pradarshaka Guru. This is very important. This was the instruction of Srila Prabhupada to all of his disciples, all of his followers. I personally saw in Chandigarh in October of 1976, Prabhupada giving an interview with different press representative media from newspaper, radio, television, and Prabhupada is telling them that they should all become gurus. None of them were initiated. None of them were actually full-time disciples. None of them were actually practicing, but yet Prabhupada is telling them, take up the message of Bhagavad Gita and preach. This was the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially Bharat Bhumiti Manusya Janmajar, that if you have taken a birth in the land of Bharat Bhumi, well, these days, many Indians have gone all over the world. If you have taken that, then engage in Paraupakar, distribute the message of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. That is a general instruction. But the specific instruction for one to become a Diksha Guru, that must be specifically authorized. Prabhupada mentions this in Nairobi in October of 1975 to Brahmananda, when one Indian gentleman asked Srila Prabhupada, how did you become the leader of the Krishna conscious movement? And Prabhupada replied, when my guru ordered me. And later in a conversation, a person can only become a guru when he is ordered by his guru. Now, Prabhupada is perfectly free to choose anyone he wants in any specific designation or capacity that he wants. Just like a president of a company can choose generally who he wants as a vice president or a senior vice president or a secretary or a treasurer. He has wide discretion. That is generally understood. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, because he's the empowered Acharya, he's the current Acharya. He was specifically empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bring the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. So he made a special arrangement by which he would remain the Acharya and newcomers would be his disciples via representatives. Of course, there's still ongoing people who do not agree. They say, you can't have that arrangement because who's going to take the karma? Well, how is the karma taken? If Prabhupada is in Calcutta, somebody gets initiated in New York, is there a special pigeon picking up the karma? Is there a special electrical line? How is that done? This is explained in the Nectar of Instruction. Divyam yaram yato dadyat kuryat papa se sankshayam tasmat dikshiti saprokte deshikes tatpakovide. That those who are learned in spiritual science, tatpakovide, they have concluded this papa kshangshaya, the clearing of karma. People are concerned, well, how will the karma be cleared? This is explained in this verse. Tasmat dikshiti saprokta. It is done by the Divyam Jnanam given by the Acharya, by the name of Krishna given by the Acharya. That's why before initiation, Prabhupada said people should follow the process of Purascharya. Purascharya means for 6 months they should follow the program. Come and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, chant the rounds, follow the principles, engage in Sankirtan, engage in following the regulated program, morning and evening. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, this is called the Purascharya for at least 6 months. And then one has to make the commitment in front of Srila Prabhupada, in front of the fire, in front of the Vaishnavas. But some people do not agree. They've developed a mysterious amnesia. I call it historical amnesia. They have forgotten what took place during the manifested presence of Srila Prabhupada. They say, well, no one has ever done this before. That's not correct. It was done between 1972 and 1977 by Srila Prabhupada, by the choice of representative. Vishwakarma knows this. He was the temple president in Toronto. He recommended people. He did fire sacrifice mentioned by Srila Prabhupada, authorized by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada trained all of his leaders to do that. But due to personal ambition, some people misinterpreted Prabhupada's instruction. What is the result? It's interesting, whenever people discuss this issue, they don't want to discuss the actual history of the original 11. Why? They know you can't go very far when you start discussing this. Let me ask a question. Do they believe that Prabhupada, the pure devotee, made the mistake by choosing unqualified men? By choosing unfit devotees for that position? Because we know from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Natya Lila, Prabhupada says that whenever the spiritual master speaks, it's to be understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is speaking through him. Did Krishna make a mistake by telling his pure devotee to choose the wrong people? Sorry, we do not accept that false premise. Pure devotees on the level of Srila Prabhupada do not make these kind of mistakes. Ordinary persons who try to imitate, who try to pose in posture, they make mistakes. We had experienced how one of these pretenders in Los Angeles told a devotee that even Prabhupada could fall down. Oh, really? Yeah. This is the level of consciousness of the posers and the pretenders. That is why they filed in Washington, D.C. that Prabhupada was just a worker for hire. Be aware of who you are listening to. Be aware of who you are giving your hearing, your sense of hearing. Best to hear from the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. And thank you very much. All of you are great souls dedicated to the mission of Prabhupada. Thank you so much for participating and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I may have to proceed, but thank you again.
Okay,
Yes,
try to hang on for a minute if you can.
Okay.
It's a few more minutes because I want to call on you to speak again in another section, but just quickly and then we'll move forward. You know, it was a good point that you brought up, was the principle that Prabhupada wanted us to be, take a role as guru. Now, Maxime, what is guru? Guru, the principle of guru means teacher. That's all it is. And there are different categories of teachers. There's grade school teachers, there's middle school teachers, there are high school teachers, there are university teachers, there are PhD teachers. Are all the teachers the same? No, they're not the same. And in Krishna consciousness, there are three types of gurus: Vartma Padarshika Guru, Siksha Guru, and Diksha Guru. Different categories. And so wouldn't it be logical, everyone, just a simple principle that Prabhupada would encourage us to go out and introduce Krishna consciousness to other people as a guru? And people appreciate it. Vartma Padarshika, you entered, like I gave a Bhagavad Gita to John Viss, Bhakti Marg. He was some karmi in Sudbury at the college. I met him out front of the mall. Here, I can still see me walking up here. Take this Gita. And he did. Okay. Am I his guru? No. I introduced it. Okay. Fair enough. Now, moving forward, Prabhupada wanted the temple presidents to act as Siksha Guru. That's what he would do. He sent a letter to me. Okay, follow all these principles, set a good example by your own personal behavior, and then at the same time instruct the people in the temple. Would Prabhupada want us to take that role? Yes, of course. What good is one man if he can have an army of men that can represent him by their example, that he inspires them to do? So this Siksha, everybody likes that. Hey, Ram Raghava, what is it when you go to the university? What does the doctor want you to become? A better doctor than him. A good teacher, a professor, he's anxious for his students to excel him. And Prabhupada would encourage us that, but not misunderstand that now you've become Uttama Adhikari. That is ridiculous. And so what's happened, we see in this society, and I had a really interesting experience today, Prabhu's, with this fellow that I met on the street during my japa walk. And he was listening to his guru, Tamal Krishna's classes. Because I asked him, I said, he goes, oh, I was just listening to a lecture. And I thought, well, should I ask him the question? And I did. He goes, oh, my guru, Maharaj, Tamal Krishna. I had to control myself because he was upset with me, Yashoda. Upset. You were there. He was there. because I met him while I was walking and talking to Deshoda. And then all of a sudden this guy's waving out, oh, Haribo, Haribo. So I went over to the window and he rolled down the window and I started talking to him in his van. And then I mentioned something about Abhimanyu being here and the former disciple of Prabhu Vishnu. And he goes, oh, Prabhu Vishnu Swami. I go, please. He's not Swami anymore. He was caught at the red light district in Bangkok. Pure devotee never falls down. Pure devotee never falls down. That's the fact. I just read it in the Krishna book. But he fell down. Was he a pure devotee? No. And does he have any success in Krishna consciousness? No. Did he do this? Did he? Who did this? Who can possibly properly represent the mission of Lord Chaitanya and the study of the Srimad Bhagavatam in an authentic manner except one pure devotee? And I'm going to make a quick point, Yashoda, and we'll move along. Think about it. I've been meditating on this today quite a bit after this episode and all this Ram Raghava. And I'm thinking, how important is it that there are all these devotees that are walking around that are not pure devotees, and we have one pure devotee that is still present and is sound? What is the value of all of them compared to Prabhupada? Look at the best thing that ever happened is at least we've got one person that some of us have personally associated with in his Vapu form, and others of us who are also associating with him in his Vani incarnation. And anybody, irregardless of race, creed, color, wealth, poverty, good looks, bad looks, it does not matter. Prabhupada did not discriminate on anyone or anything, man or woman. Nothing. He simply presented the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit of the Vedic literature, the cream. And all you have to do is drink it, and you'll become fixed up. Follow the rules and regulations, chant Hare Krishna. Your 16 rounds minimum, study these books, and present Krishna. I'm so happy. I'm sorry, Yashoda. I was having a conversation with Shama Sundar, our friend our godbrother in Australia. And he was inquiring about the books. And, we're going to get on it and get those shipped to him tomorrow. But the point is this: he's eager to take advantage of this opportunity to distribute it to others. That's Krishna consciousness. That is proper activity according to Srila Prabhupada's wishes as Vartma Pradarshika Guru, Sishya Guru, and we don't need a fake group of Diksha Gurus. Oh, Yashoda. I got this email from Abhimanyu. All the GBC resolutions for this year, 2025. There are 31 pages. And Ram Raghava, guess what? They've created a new, he said it to me in Russian today, broken Russian. Vishwakarma, parliament. I go, what? He goes, parliament. I go, can you repeat that again? Parliament. Is that parliament? Yes, they've created a ISKCON parliament. All new structure within ISKCON, concocted by them to manage their businesses. Parliament. They've created a parliament of leaders. So we'll go forward here. Yashoda, maybe you could come with this missing information. Do you have some of that you could read from right now?
You mean to see the GBC report?
No, just the missing information, the missing links. Your regular section. Here
Oh,
it
I
is.
see. Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
just so forget that. You know, I just you any of what you can call me up. I'll try to share this information, not at the class, but off class. Haribo. Go ahead. You
Okay,
show.
we are reading here from missing missing links.
Yeah.
Missing links in the puzzle. We are reading from page number 8. Several days of conversation are missing after July 10th, 1977, between July 11th and 13th, 1977. Did Srila Prabhupada go completely silent for days and days? Hardly believable. Please see appendix number 7. See conversations with Srila Prabhupada. 10. Statements made by Srila Prabhupada to his secretary, now the late secretary, regarding missing recording of conversation on July 8th or 9th, 1977, Vrindavan, India. Guru and GBC representative statement. Before I got ready to type the letter, I asked him, Srila Prabhupada, is this all or do you want to add more? He said, as is necessary, others may be added. Note, the letter was dated July 9th, 1977. The conversation referred above must have taken place on the July 9th or before that on the July 8th. Where is the tape of this conversation? If not available, why not? It is significant to note that there is no published record of any conversation in the Conversations with Srila Prabhupada, volume 34 from the July 9th, 1977. And here I raise the point. Please see appendix number 1 and 2, appendix number 8. These are attached at the end of the paper. 11, statement by Srila Prabhupada to his secretary regarding missing recording of conversation which took place on July 8th or 9th, 1977 between Srila Prabhupada and his secretary regarding lecture dictation to GBC of Sri Lanka. Now, I just want to make a separate point here. We are not advocating here that the two individuals which were not mentioned in the July 7th conversation where Prabhupada gave 9 names, namely Bhavananda and Amsaduta, we're not suggesting that these were not authorized to be on the list. We're just raising the point that there's no record of the conversation. GBC representative and secretary, Srila Prabhupada, my dear Hamsaduta Maharaj, July 10th, 1977. Prabhupada says, please accept my humble obeisance at your feet. Srila Prabhupada has received your letters dated July 4th and July 5th, 1977, respectively, and has instructed me to reply them. Srila Prabhupada was very pleased to hear how you have organized everything in Ceylon, and that so many people are now taking interest seriously is proof of the effectiveness of your preaching. His Divine Grace said you are a suitable person and you can give initiation to those who are ready for it. I've selected you amongst 11 men as Ritvik, should read Ritvik, or representative of the Acharya to give initiation both first and second on my behalf. Further in the same letter, it is stated, His Divine Grace stated, never mind, go surely, it does not matter, slowly. This brings more questions. Again, no recording of any of these conversations are available. Why not? We'll leave it at that for now, and we will continue on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Let me give you the answer and we'll move to the next section. Very simple answer. It's going on in the American political world right now, Yashoda, that there's something that's come up about Barack Obama trying to do something illegal in the election that Donald Trump and him were involved in with Hillary Clinton. Okay, that's theirs. But what is the real issue, Ram Raghava? Cover up. That's what's going on in the material world. And unfortunately, it's gone on in this particular pastime of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. These people have covered up the truth. Let's move forward with Prabhupada's next section of his speech for us. Hare Krishna.
In past life cannot inquire about God or can understand about it. We have several times repeated the word. Jesam antagatam papam jananam punya karmana te dandamaha nirmuktam bhajanti mam viram. Papi, sinful man, they cannot understand. They understand only thing that Krishna is Bhagavan, so I am also Bhagavan. He is an ordinary man, maybe little powerful, historically very famous man. So he is after all a man. So I am also man. So why not? I am God. This is the conclusion of the abhaktas, non-devotees and sinful men. So anyone who is declaring himself God, immediately should know he is the greatest sinful man. And if you study his private life, you will see that he is number one sinful man. This is the test. Otherwise nobody will say that I am God. This false representation, nobody, any pious man will not do that. He knows, know what I am. I am an ordinary human being. How can I claim to take the position of God? And they become famous among rascals. As it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Savai ustak kharais. What is that verse? Ustak kharai samstuta purusha pasu. In this world, we see there are many great men, so-called great men, and they are very much praised by the general people. So, Bhagavad says that anyone who is not a devotee, who never chants the Hare Krishna mantra, he may be a very great man in the estimation of rascals, but he is nothing but an animal. So, Sabir Baraha Ustrak Kharoi. So how you can say such a great man, you are saying that animal? Our business is very thankless task. We say any man who is not a devotee, he is rascal. We say generally. It is very harsh word, but we have to use it. As soon as we see that he is not a devotee of Krishna, then he is a rascal. How do we say? He is not my enemy, but we have to say, because it is stated by Krishna. If you are really Krishna conscious, then our business is to repeat the words of Krishna. That's all. What is the difference between a Krishna's representative and non-representative? The representative of Krishna will simply repeat what Krishna says, that's all. He becomes representative. It doesn't require much qualification. You simply repeat with firm conviction. As Krishna says, Sarvadharman parittajya mamekam saranam vraja. So one who has accepted this fact that if I surrender to Krishna, my all business is successful. He is Krishna, that's all. You don't require to be very highly educated or advanced. Simply, if you simply accept that what Krishna says, just like Arjuna said, Sarvam etam nitang manne, jadvadasi kesha. My dear Krishna, Kesava, whatever you are saying, I accept it, without any change. That is bhakta. Therefore Arjuna is addressed, bhaktosi. This is the bhakta's business. Why shall I think of Krishna as like me, ordinary man? This is the difference between a bhakta and not bhakta. A bhakta knows that I am insignificant, a small spark of Krishna. Krishna is individual person, I am also individual person. But when we consider about his power and my power, I am most insignificant. This is understanding of Krishna. There is no difficulty. Simply one must be sincere, not sinful. But a sinful man cannot understand. The sinful man, he will say, oh, Krishna is also man, I am also man. Why I am not God? He is simply God. No, I am God. You are God, you are very God. Just like Vivekananda said, why you are searching after God? Don't you see so many gods are loitering in the street? You see, this is his God realization. This is his God realization. And he became a big man. Oh, he is seeing everyone God. This foolishness, this rascaldom is going on all over the world. One does not know what is God, what is power of God, what is meant by God. They are accepting some rascal as God. Nowadays there is going on. Another rascal has come. He is also declaring himself God. So it has become a very cheap thing. But they have no brain to think that I am claiming God, what power I have got. So this is the mystery. This is the mystery. Without becoming devotee, the mystery of understanding God is not possible. And Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, how one can know Him? Bhaktyamava vijanati javanajastami tattva. Only by devotion. Simply. He could have said by high topmost knowledge, or by yogic process, or by acting, becoming a very great karmi, worker, one can understand me. No, he has never said. Never said. So the karmis, jnanis, yogis, they are all rascals. They cannot understand Krishna. All rascals. Karmi is a third-class rascal, the jnanis are second-class rascal, and the yogis are first-class rascal. That's all.
Rascal. What a term. And Prabhupada said that's harsh. That may be harsh. But it's a fact. Actually, it's even more than that. Prabhupada's so polite in his speech. He's simply calling them rascal. He didn't say, you're demons. Think about it. When people go to the fast food restaurant every day, are they just rascals or are they demons? When they live on the killing of animals without any remorse, without any affection, without any concern. They just go, oh. And look, when you look at the TV, that's all you see. Go to this Harvey's, go to this McDonald's. There's something in California called In-N-Out. I think that's what it's called. I never heard of it. It's not up in Canada. But it means you go in, you can buy a meat, and then you go out right away, and you can go back in and out and eat meat at your leisure. This is demoniac. And Prabhupada was very politely describing people are rascal. They're rascals. And Ram Raghava, the fact of the matter is, not only are they rascals, and I often say this to many of my friends, we live in an insane asylum. It's insane what's going on in the name of life, the purpose of life. Everything is wrong. The wars, the starvation, the disease. Look at the COVID hoax. Yes, and even some of these fake gurus in ISKCON, they were getting their disciples to go get vaccinated. They were telling them, go vaccinate your friends. And it was all a hoax. I'm not going to get into it because it's not our topic. But the point is, it is an insane asylum. Ram Raghava, how many people we got on the YouTube today?
On YouTube today, we have 8 people, no questions today.
Okay. So some people are coming, better than none. I always say that. 2 is better than 1, 3 is better than 2. And on we march, our gang. We have a small gang right now. It's gradually expanding. And I wanted to ask Ron Singh if he's by the microphone. Ron? I sent him some messages. Maybe you could
Yes,
talk a bit about our
sure.
program in Oroville, and at the same time talk about the logistics of shipping and handling and other aspects as we learn how to do this. We're learning, Prabhus. We're not expert, but we'll get there as we keep going. Ron Singh in Oroville, California. Haribo.
Oh, okay, thank you for the wonderful class. You showed Ronald and Prabhu right on the money, as they say. The ISKCON history is very murky. After Prabhupada's disappearance, so many things happened. There were the original 11, and then how they divided up the movement, how they changed the movement, how they changed the books, how they
Yeah.
changed the management. And so many things have come since, it's been what, over 47, nearly 50 years, 47 years. So all the new devotees who are coming, first of all, they have to understand what is actually Prabhupada's movement from the very beginning all the way till 1977. And then they also have to learn the history of the movement.
Mm-hmm.
And them physically not being present, they have to hear very carefully and they have to resolve their doubts. So this is a very simple process. Prabhupada gave everything. He wrote papers, he wrote letters, he wrote directions, he wrote the trust agreements. Everything is there in paper. And any intelligent devotee or devotees who really want to know the history, they should communicate with us and get the facts straightened out. And then they'll know everything about the Krishna consciousness movement and how things went down. Okay, so now we're on talking about the Delhi Srimad Bhagavatam sets, which have been here for, what, about a month now. So we'd like to thank all the devotees who have donated. We had about 127 devotees worldwide donate. We collected about $27,000 for the printing of the Delhi edition Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So thank you very much. We're also missing some addresses from the devotees who have donated. Please send us your address. Every day we're shipping out books. I'm right across the post office, this walking distance. So I pack the books here and ship it out. So that's a very interesting service. We're all learning, like Vishwakarma said. We're working collectively as a relatively small but yet very efficient group of devotees who are communicating every day on how the orders are coming in and who's paying and how it's going out and where it's going out. So we all have that. So there's another opportunity for the devotees to come join in the preaching and the shipping. And we have a wonderful facility here in Oroville. This was a former YMCA building. We have 3 bathrooms, big size bathrooms. We have ample space for sleeping for 5, 6, 7 people. We have all the food you can eat. We have everything available here. So if you'd like to join and help us expand Srila Prabhupada's movement, and you, prospective devotee, they'll have a wonderful role in this expanding of the Krishna consciousness movement as Srila Prabhupada wanted it back in 1966, 1967, 1968. So this is Prabhupada's real mission on how to help others. So please reach out to us, me, Vishwakarma, Yashodanandana. We're here to help devotees who want to go back to Godhead as soon as possible. So please contact us. There's services of the shipping, receiving, mailing out, the website. So many services are available. So please contact us. We're here to assist you. We're here to give you shelter. If you, we've been talking to Vinay. Vinay Sandeep. He's been very active, and he wants to take a role in this shipping, distribution, preaching. So we're very excited to meet younger generation devotees who are very enthusiastic, and they want to spread this mission in every town and village. So thank you, Vishwakarma, Yashodanandana, all the devotees who have been participating over the years. I see some names that I recognize. So thank you very much, Prabhu, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Well, thank you, Ron, very much for your effort. It's so great to see people all over the world coming forward to participate. And we're busy. I was saying to Shama Sundar, well, we're fortunate we've got service. Because if you didn't have service, it would be difficult to find meaning in life. Life takes on meaning when you can dovetail your money, your time, your energy in propagating the message of Lord Chaitanya productively and realistically. And we're gradually developing that, and we're catching a group of really good people around us, and we're all working collectively. And I'm just saying this, by the way, quickly before we move to the next section, Ram Raghava, that we are preparing the Easy Journey to Other Planets publication. And one of our godbrothers is having the English edition ready within the next week or so. And it's the original 1959 version, completely identical, but slightly improved with a better cover and a better font size. Not a change in any of the information, but just a very attractive book that we'll be making available in the near future for further distribution of Prabhupada's books globally without any adulteration, editing, or changes. So that's on the table. What's next on the program, Ram Raghava?
Next, Prabhu, we're going to have a short kirtan with Srila Prabhupada, about 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
Okay.
Followed by a recitation of the 10 offenses.
Yeah.
And then 1 round of japa with Srila Prabhupada, followed
Perfect.
by the prayers to the Vaishnava devotees.
Okay, carry on. Let's enjoy the nectar of this evening program. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Yes, memorize these. Concentrate on this very important part of chanting your rounds. Offenseless chanting. Ram Raghava, what's next?
The one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, so we're going to do a round of japa. I got my beads here. I got my rounds done, but I'm going to do more. It's minimum 16. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama.
Krishna 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Krishna 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Let us take this opportunity for all of us to offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, following in the footsteps of Yashodananda and Prabhu, I would like to thank everybody for attending this night's reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita by the Prabhupada Disciples Association. Thank you to Yashodananda and Prabhu for wonderful lecture and reading. Thank you to Vishwakarma Prabhu for organizing and directing these programs. Thank you to Bhaktin Ember Andy. Thank you to Forest Temple in Baja, California. Thanks to Janaspriya Das Prabhu in Hawaii. Thank you to Maxim Haraneka in Belarus. Thank you to Mother Rochisha Devidasi in Montreal, Canada. Thanks to Michael Dillon. Thank you to Nilesh Dalal in Florida. Thank you to Radharani Mataji. Thank you to Bhakta Ronald Singh in Oroville, California. Thank you to Roy in Mississippi. Thank you to the one and only Rupa Goswami Das Prabhu in Mumbai, India. Thank you to Shreya. Thank you to Shyamasundar Prabhu in Australia. Thank you to Bhakta Vinay in India. And thanks finally to Vladimir Martinel. Please join us again Saturday morning, 7 a.m. California time, or 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Bhagavad Gita reading. And now we're going to have the special new kirtan with Vishwakarma Prabhu. And after that will be followed by a bhajan by Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Play that bass, chant your peace. Don't be shy, chant along, chant along.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলকাশারি, হরে হরে বলিতে হবে নয়নে ববেনি। গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলকাশারি, হরি হরি বলিতে কবে নয়নে ববেনি। আর কবে নিতাই চাঁদ করুণা করিবে, সংসার বাসনাময় কবে তুচ্ছ হবে। আর কবে নিতাই না করিবে, সংসার বাসনাময় কবে তুচ্ছ হবে। গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে সুনক সরি, হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে ভবেনি। গৌ গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে কুলকসারি হরি হরি বলিতে না জানে ব্রবেনি আর কবে নিতাই চায় করুণা করিবে সংসার বাসনাময় কবে তুচ্ছ হবে বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হম হেরব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হম হেরব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে হইবে আকুতি কবে হম বুঝব সে যুগল প্রীতি রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে হইবে আকুতি কবে হম বুঝব সে যুগল প্রীতি বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হম হেরব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হম হেরব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে হইবে আকুতি কবে হম বুঝব সে যুগল প্রীতি গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর হরি হরি বলিতে না জানে ববে নীর আর কবে নিতাই চায় করুণা করিবে সংসার বাসনাময় কবে তুচ্ছ হবে আর কবে নিতাই চায় করুণা করিবে সংসার বাসনাময় কবে তুচ্ছ হবে গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে পুলক শরীর হরি হরি বলিতে না জানে বাবে নীর গৌরাঙ্গ বলিতে হবে বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হম হেরব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন न कबे हम हेरब श्री वृंदावन रूप रघुनाथ पदे हईबे अकुते कबे हम बुझब